Hey y'all. So y'all, have you ever asked God what he wants you to do only to realize years later that he has been, well, not years later, a year and 6 months later, that he has been answering you the entire time? That's me right now today, y'all. This morning, God answered one of my questions that I had for him. And he gave me the revelation, y'all. He revealed my entire purpose, or has been revealing my entire purpose through my dreams. And I just thought that, he was giving me dreams for me and my transition and everything that's been going on in my life for me, my husband. But yes, he has, but it's also for my business and um, the content, God's given content that He has been given to me, and it's just, y'all, it just dawned on me today, this morning, okay, and it's May 31st, 2026. I'm going to a little testimony, y'all, so this is gonna be like a little long video. So, moving from Alabama to Florida, whew, let's talk about that. Oh my God. So first of all, this time last year, me and my husband was living in a hotel. We was living in a hotel not because we was homeless or anything, but because our home had got messed up. The roof had got messed up from a windstorm back in March 2025. So we was this time last year, this May 2025, we was actually staying in the hotel, getting the house fixed. The house was getting fixed up, not knowing that there was another setup from God to get the house sold. Okay, when I tell y'all, don't question what God is doing or what's going on in your life, because God could be setting you up for a purpose. He could be setting you for success. He could be setting you up for something that's totally different that you have no clue what it is. I'm a living witness of that right now today. My husband, he has always wanted to, I'm not gonna say I always wanted to move, but he wanted to move here where we are located at now, because we always come here for vacation. So I was like, I don't want to move. I don't want to stay in my house. My house is beautiful. We got brand new floors. We got brand new paint. We got brand new carpet, white plush carpet. I don't want to know. I'm not selling my house. This that house was built ground up, and I lived in my house. Okay, so a couple of months passed by. I need to go back a little bit. So our finances. So our finances was drying up. A lot of people don't know this because we don't show it. We don't talk about our private life. But y'all, this is part of my testimony, and I really want to help somebody else, or God want me to help other people. So our finances was drying up, and I was always wondering, like, why is our finances drying up? And so I have a team. I'm a travel agent, and I have a network marketing business as well. They're two separate businesses, but I'll talk about that later. So I have a team, um, over 600 agents. So my team was, the organization was not organizing anymore. The team was rolling back, the numbers was rolling back, the income was rolling back, and we were just in this dry place for, I'm gonna say, a couple of years. Absolutely a couple of years in debt, not negative accounts, chapter 13 bankruptcy. Y'all, it was just by the grace, because we was over to surviving. We was over to surviving, and that's not what God wants us to do. He don't want us to survive, y'all. He want us to thrive. He don't want us to survive and hustle and do all that worldly stuff. No, he want us to thrive and depend on him, and he's gonna make a way out of no way, like he's doing right now. But I'm gonna get into all that. Let's go back to the house. One of my spiritual sister, she was like, well, Treese, you may need to move, because when your finances is drying up, and it's drying up where you are located at, then hey, that's, it may be time for y'all to move. So there was another, there's seed number two. Seed number one was my husband. When we was down here on vacation, he was looking out the window. He was like, "Man, I want to live here. I don't want to go back home. I want to stay here." I'm like, "I don't want to live here. This is our vacation spot. Like, I don't want to live here." So that was seed number one. Seed number two was, it might be more seeds than that, because a lot of people like, y'all go down there so much, y'all might as well live there. So those were some seeds sown too from God. Um, and then there was seed number two when she told us, or told me that, things are drying up. Sometimes you have to move in order to get what God got for you. So I was like, mm, maybe she's right. Maybe she's right. So that's when I I think like a couple of months passed after that, and I was like, let me pray, because I had an attachment to my house. I did not want to leave my house. I didn't. Like I'm not gonna go into the family and all that. I'm not gonna go into that yet. We're gonna let that be that a little bit down the road. But I did not want to give up my house. I had an attachment, so I was like, God, if this house, well, not this house, if this is a part of your will and what you want us to do, help me to release this house out of my heart. Y'all, the next day, it didn't take long at all. The next day after that prayer, we put the house on the market. So it was in October of 2025 when we put the house on the market. Or was it the end of September? End of September, October 2025. We put the house on the market with a realtor. Um, I was still in prayer, still in consecration, still in refinement, still financing with financing, still drying up. And I'm like, in prayer and asking God, like, okay, God, we made the first step. Now you got to do the rest. So, October, November, December, no movement on the house. The realtor we had wasn't doing what she supposed to have did. So, I went to God and asked God, was it okay to release her, to release the realtor that we had? And pretty much got the answer for that. Released her in February of this year. Right after we released her, y'all, we got two mailer. No, we got one mailer in the mailbox, the postcard in the mailbox from a real estate agent. His name is Jason, the best of the best of the best. Y'all, when I tell y'all, we interviewed him. We interviewed somebody else, but I'm not gonna go into all that right now. So we interviewed him, and my husband, he was like, "That's the one." He knew it right off the bat that that's the person that he wanted to hire to sell our home. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's go for it. Let's do it. Y'all, this man put our house on the market. The next day, it got an offer. The very next February, he put our house. We met with him February the 12th. February the 13th, we had an offer on our home. And then, so after we got the offer, it had to go through the bankruptcy courts, because everything that we had was in bankruptcy. Chapter 13, bankruptcy. People don't know this, y'all. This is my first time speaking about this. My family don't know this. They know it now if they're watching this. My family don't know, friends. No, I don't. We don't tell our personal business, but I had to humble myself. Like, this is not about me. This is not about me. Okay. Um, so we had to go through the bankruptcy courts, and we thought that the bankruptcy courts was going to take longer than it did. When I tell y'all, God sped that thing up. Our closing date was supposed to be April the 15th, but we ended up closing on our house March the 31st. That's how speedy God did all. Everything went smooth, y'all. After the when I tell y'all, the house inspection went smooth. Nobody but God. Nobody but God. The man who inspected our house, y'all, he was walking around there trying to find something wrong with it. He couldn't find nothing wrong. The house is 9 years old. It was newly built, but um, it was 9 years old. But he still couldn't. He couldn't find. He said this is not normal. God again. The favor from God has been up on our lives, y'all. I tell you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Um, and he couldn't find anything wrong. So that went right. That went smooth. No issues. We did have to get so the people who so called fixed our roof, we did have to get some shingles and stuff fixed on top of that. They did not do a good job at all. So we had to repair some of that out of our own pocket. And then the termite inspection, like all the inspections went smooth. My realtor even said out his own mouth, he said he has never seen anybody in a house inspection who stayed in the house for 9 years that didn't have anything wrong with their house just before they sold it. He said he was dealing with somebody who home had like foundation issues, water issues from their front yard. They had to get their whole front yard digged up, cost like over $20,000, and so much more, y'all. So that's how I know that the grace of God is on our lives, and this was a part of His divine transition, His divine movement that He has for us. Okay, um, so after that, everything was smooth. The courts that went smooth. My realtor, he thought that had to wait maybe like 2 months. Y'all, God sped the thing up so quick that no, we did not have to wait no 2 months for anything. And then on top of that, y'all, I, I'm not gonna talk about that in this one. I want to tell you how I know that it was Florida that he wanted us to move to, because that's all I was seeing. Florida signs, Florida signs, Florida tags. That's a part of the seeds that he was sowing. But anyway, um, and then on top of that, oh, my realtor also said that he has never had a person. He been in business for over 20 some years. He said in his 20 some years he has never had people to sell their home and be debt free. I said never. He said never. He said to be not only debt free but walk away with something to in their pocket. I said really? He said never. I was like, okay, God, what you doing? Thank you, God, for doing it. And I will, oh my God, y'all. So I have so much more that I can say, but I'm gonna save it. But I just want to tell y'all a little bit about the transition from the revelation what he gave me this morning from us moving from Alabama to Florida. That's just some of it. That's not even all of it, because we sold everything. We sold all our furniture. We sold some clothes. We got some stuff in storage now, but we gave a lot of stuff to my daughter. She's still, in that state. But that was our Egypt. Alabama was me and my husband's Egypt, and it was dried up. That was our wilderness. We had to get up out of there, y'all. And God led us here. He led us here, and he gave us we got the blueprint. We got the blueprint. So hold on, let me get my notes real quick. I guess I can talk about the biblical examples real quick. So let's talk about Joseph, because Joseph has been a part of my journey as well in the Bible. With Joseph, his dreams became destiny. In Daniel, his dreams became wisdom for nations. Habakkuk, vision became instruction. God has already used revelations to guide his people. So, y'all, what has God been showing you that you've been overlooking? What dreams, lessons, testimonies, or experiences have you ignored? I challenge you to write it down, okay? Write down everything God been giving you. So God isn't silent, y'all. He's not as silent as we think he is. Maybe he's already speaking, which he is. God is speaking in everything. The question is, are we paying attention? Like, are we paying attention? Like, we got to open up our spiritual ears and our spiritual eyes and close some of this stuff off in our spiritual gateway so that we can be able to hear the word of God, to hear what he's saying, to hear what he's speaking, to hear instructions, directions, what he wants us to do, what he desires. He has so much for us, y'all. Ephesians 3:20, Jeremiah 29:11. Y'all, he has so much for us if we let go. If we let go. I had to let it go. I had to let stuff. I had to let it go. I had to let that house go in order for him to give us what he's. We in an apartment now. It's a brand new apartment, y'all. I'm gonna talk about that later. How he got us here, and because when we got here, we didn't have a place to stay. We didn't know where we was going. So I'm gonna talk about it in another video. Um, but if this message bless you in any kind of way, subscribe to the channel. I am new to YouTube. I'm new to doing videos, so y'all bear with me. Still learning. So sometimes I forget stuff, so that's why I write a lot of stuff down, have it on my laptop. But yeah, if this message bless you, subscribe to the channel, like it. I was gonna say love it, but I don't think they got the love button. Um, And if you're ready to break financial change, y'all, build generational wealth, and walk with your God given purpose, I have a website that you can visit, that you can take a look at what I do with my team of champions, my travel professional, my travel besties, my travel babes. And we are over here building generational wealth, okay? It's wealthbuilders.org/work from home. I'm going to put that in the description box. And I also have a podcast. I'm a whole introvert over here in these streets, but God told me to start a podcast. So I have some episodes on there. But I do want you guys to listen to my podcast. That's in the description as well. Um, so yeah, I don't create content from information. I create content from revelation. And that's the word for today. That's the word for today. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all soon.